My wife Sandy said, "Would you please wear shoes with toes in them today?" And so I'm noticing all my friends at the mutant tables, Roger. They all have shoes with toes in them. I'm quite proud. My first adventure with Derrik was also his first adventure with the old guys, Roger and I. And so after two 12-hour flights, a couple of days in the jungle, and a four-hour four-wheel drive road, here we land at the base of Kilimanjaro. Now, Catherine had set this up, this primo expedition we had, and we're met by 3 guides and 49 porters. And we meet this nice lady, one of 7 of us. Rocky, raise your hand. Rocky is here. That's not her real name, but Rocky, for her first climb of a Mount ever, I recall, right? Okay, makes 2, okay. But in any event, Derrik was 14, and he was named, I believe by Raj, Pygmy Cannibal Boy. And the look of adventure on his face was unbelievable. I'd ask you to kind of see this back in the corner over there. Then, about a week later, you saw the look of adventure on his face again. Look at this. It was cold, man, it was cold. It was about 20 below, wasn't it, Raj? And blowing, but he was so happy. Oh my God, 14 years old. So we descend 10,000 vertical and get back to the jungle and say our farewells. And off we go to the Serengeti. And zebras and antelope and whatever the heck's out there that Roger shoots. And you should have seen the look of adventure on his face. My last adventure with Derrik was on Mount Adams. And let's see, Killer was there, Pops was there, Samurai was there, and we had a really nice winter camping trip. And Roger of Life, that's Raj, taught him how to drink rum. And you should have seen the adventure on his face. So, Catherine, Shannon, Megan, Rawls, he will not be forgotten. And just look around this room, all of these friends giving comfort and fellowship. And in particular, I know you'll take advantage of this. Pops and Maria Vanderbeek, whose son perished on Denali. He was a climbing ranger, and he was making a rescue, perished. And on Pops's front porch, he has a wooden plaque engraved by Peppino, "Forget Me Not." And folks, we will not forget Derrik. No one in this room will forget Derrik. Now, I have a kind of a sign-off, and that's happy trails. So, happy trails to Derrik. But that's not the total of that Roy Rogers song. It's happy trails to you till we meet again.
Words, they're so limited in expressing what our hearts tell us. And as a man of limited words, it's even more limited. But here it goes. Roger, Catherine, Shannon, Megan. I have been so privileged to have known your son. I saw a lot in him that reminded us of our own son who died here 13 years ago in a mountaineering accident. But I look back of the wonderful opportunities I had to share with this exceptional young man. Mount Adams, mountaineering on Mount Adams. Going on a hut trip, his first hut trip, Bernard Hut, here 4 years ago, out in the wilds of the Elk Mountains behind Aspen. And then climbing the big passes in the Maroon Bells here 2 years ago. And even more than that, I had a shared interest and love with Derrik. He loved Latin America, where I spent a lot of my career traveling and doing business and adventures. And as he was preparing for his journey after his college days at Colby College, he was immersing himself in Spanish, and he would communicate with me in excellent Spanish. I can't say perfect because I wouldn't know perfect Spanish. I know it pretty well, but his Spanish, in my opinion, was flawless. And here, I was so impressed with this dynamic and generous young man. You don't see that too often, that people in their young vigor are looking up to seniors. But he would ask my advice, where should I go? Should I go to Barcelona? Should I go to Sao Paulo? Or should I go to Santiago, Chile? And I said, they're all great. I know it is an incredible privilege and the greatest joy and happiness to love your own children and to watch them grow into youth and young, vigorous adulthood and guide their dreams. And you know what? The more you love is a dangerous thing, and it's a risky thing, because if you love it all, the loss is even more painful. And so it's a joy to have that love and to have known that love as we have. And then you go through this valley of grief, and we've been there. It's tough, and it leaves a gap that you can never bridge. But as you travel, there is solace and there is comfort. Because in a really very real way, they're really never gone. And as you deal with your grief, and thank God you have family and friends because you need each other, and you need to support each other, and you need to have a lot of patience with each other, as Mari and I know. Because grief is like DNA. It is so personal. Everybody grieves in their own way. But you know you have love surrounding you. And then I had my own individual journey. And I began to discover after a period that as you look into this void, you find a shining face looking back at you after a while. And they're never really gone. In the first place, you have these incredible memories that become more precious, that become gold stars, diamonds in the sky, and they come back to you all the time. With my own son, we did our first attempt on El Amani above La Paz, Bolivia, one of my all-time favorite cities in the whole world. As Roger knows, we adventured there. He in his high climbing days, early 20s, charged up the mountain. We were at 18,000 feet. And I said, son, let's rope up. He said, you know, kids are smarter than dads. They think. He said, Dad, Speed is safety. And here we were going on a 40-degree slope, and I had bought him all new equipment, and I was dealing with my old crampons. I said it, Mike, damn it. If I fall off the mountain, you better find my body, otherwise your mother will not have life insurance. So he said, Dad, let's rope up. And there's many others. And then these memories are just one big support as you go on in life. And then what comes even more real is their shining spirits that guide you on, that tell you, Mom, Dad, Casey, Tom, I want you to live your life to the fullest, because that's what I have done. I remember, and they speak to you. In one of my grieving moments or processes, I did a four-day solo trip in Dark Canyon from Hyde, Utah, back up to Canyonlands National Park. Just me and my trusty little Nicky. He's my 14-year-old beagle. In those days, he was a lot younger. And as I missed my last water seep, we were lost. And I sat down. I didn't know what to do because we didn't see anybody in 4 days. And I swear, now this is not a vision, but this is kind of like a soft voice saying, Dad, you need to backtrack. There is an exit. And sure enough, there was. So they're with you. And to close, I would like to read a brief poem that a lovely, wonderful, beautiful young woman wrote when Mike had his memorial service. And I hope it will give you solace as it did us. I cannot say, and I will not say, that he is dead. He's just away. With a cheery smile and a wave of the hand, he has wandered into an unknown land and left us dreaming how very fair it needs must be since he lingers there. And you, oh you, who the wildest yearn for the old step and the glad return, think of him faring on as dear, and the love of there as the love of here. Think of him still as the same, I say. He is not dead, he's just away. Thank you.
Forget me not, Pops and Mike and Derrik. Good, nice going, Pops. I'd like to introduce our good friend, Don Grafenheim, otherwise known as Hector Martinez, the great one.